Welcome to my channel, Decoding with Simeon, your certified belief code and body code practitioner. Today we're going to be going through how our beliefs are formed. Our beliefs have a massive effect on our day-to-day lives, and they affect everything that happens around us. So we're going to have a look at how the belief code helps to pinpoint and remove these beliefs, the different ways in which our beliefs are formed, and just looking at different examples of these beliefs. The three ways in which our beliefs are formed, we have calculated. It could be, this situation happened. For example, there was a lack of money growing up, so therefore there's some deep-rooted beliefs around earning money, around, deserving money and wealth. Another one could be inherited, when there's a very deeply rooted issue or some severe trauma has happened, to entire nations. There can be deeply rooted fears or lack of, whether it's lack of resources or it's a fear around something bad happening. It can, create these beliefs, because at the end of the day our beliefs are formed as a protective mechanism to keep us safe, because our body's always striving for homeostasis and balance to avoid danger and keep us in a safe environment. And the other way is suggestion. So if we look at, say, the news, for example, and we're hearing a story repeating itself, it could be, positive or negative. Usually it's negative. And if that story is repeating all the time, it could have zero truth to it. But if it's constantly being repeated and we hear it enough times, it can affect our beliefs, and it can, suggest new beliefs into our mind and our subconscious mind, and create these new belief systems which could be completely faulty. And what fuels our belief in the emotion code and body code is the emotional baggage we experience. A good example is like trapped emotions, which are emotions in which we are unable to process at that time. So we store them in our body because they can't be processed on. Another example in the body code is memory field, and that's simply the energy of a memory that hasn't been processed, that's reoccurring. These are like energetic fuels, and an emotional reverberation is like a ringing of an emotion. Someone is in like a state of grief, so like after a funeral they might be reverberating that grief. You could nearly almost feel that energy off them. And if we look at the belief system we talked about earlier, about a lack and poverty of certain resources, creating a belief of not being good enough and not being deserving enough of abundance. There could be an emotional reverberation of grief that's fueling and linked to that belief system. Another example could be, if someone was bitten by a dog once, they could create this faulty negative belief around dogs and think that all dogs are dangerous, and we obviously know that's not the case. But that could be a subconscious belief that was learned as a survival mechanism from a bad experience once. So when we're using the belief code, we're looking at the belief systems like trees. So if we look at the top of the tree, we've got like the leaves, the negative programs. We're going into the branches, you've got the limiting beliefs. We've got a faulty core belief in the trunk, and sometimes going a little bit deeper, but not always present, is a faulty core identity. So we use muscle testing with the body code to pinpoint the statements closest to what's coming up with our client's subconscious, and then we find the emotional roots that are fueling it in the emotion code and body code. And this could be our trapped emotions, emotional reverberations, and memory field, different things that have happened. but anything can come up in the body code, but it's generally what is in the energy section and generally what's in the emotion code. And then when we are going through the process of identifying all of the associations, we clear them. Then we go through the process of clearing the belief system, starting at the very top at the leaves, clearing the negative programs. Then we clear the limiting beliefs. Then we clear the faulty core belief, and then we go to clear the faulty core identity if it's present. And then after we do that, there can be like a gap created in the subconscious mind through clearing that belief system. And sometimes we just need to close the gap, sometimes we need to put in a positive belief system. And then after we do that, sometimes we go through rebalancing steps. Sometimes it can just be a quick defrag, but it can be good to go through a more intensive rebalancing steps to make sure that our clients don't experience any processing symptoms. And if you want to try a belief code session, there's the link down in the description, and please subscribe to my channel if you found my content useful. Thank you so much. Have a good day.